Are you tired of feeling stuck and watching your goals slip further away from you? It is time to finally break the cycle and take control, and in this video I'm about to spill the tea, share my tips of how to reach your goals and actually how to stay consistent and also disciplined, because that is the key. I'm going to share all my tips, all my secrets, how I'm able to stay consistent in my life with my goals and how you can do the same so you can finally reach those goals that you set out in the beginning of the year. If you're new here, my name is Brianna. I do lots of lifestyle motivational content to help you guys live your best life. I started a self-growth series that you guys can binge watch if you missed all the other videos. I'll also link it in the description box. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe if you want to live your best life, you want to come along this journey, then definitely make sure you guys subscribe. First step is setting really clear, specific goals with a roadmap so you can actually stay on track better. And I'll be the one to tell you that your goals that you set for yourself are probably way too broad, which makes it so much harder to actually stay focused and stay consistent with it, especially when you start to kind of fall backwards. When you build out a roadmap for yourself, it actually makes it so much easier to stay disciplined with it. And I have learned over the years that as I was making my goals way too broad, I didn't have anything to really like take action steps with. And so instead of saying like, oh, I want to just be healthy, like what does that mean? Like what actually are you going to be doing to get healthy? So honestly, it's all about getting even more specific. So I want to work out 3 times a week for 45 minutes. Like those are clear goals that you're setting for yourself, and you're putting something that can also be measured and something that you can also track, which we're going to talk about later. But those are the types of goals that you need to be writing for yourself. You need to be really, really specific, because that also just helps you see the goal and envision it for yourself, kind of like the law of attraction. And so if you want to reach a certain, like for me with my content creation and everything that I do, if I want to reach a certain milestone, like I will be super specific. I want to reach 30k subscribers by January. I want to post 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Like those are clear goals that you have for yourself that again you are able to track and just keep a better eye on for yourself, because when you are seeing those numbers too, and you get a little bit more specific in terms of things like days of the week, if you're working out 3 times a week, it gives you something again that you can just tell yourself, okay, every week I need to just get this done, and I am one step closer to reaching my goals of being healthier, because I know that every week I am dedicating myself and I have the discipline to go to the gym or get that movement in 3 times a week. You know what I mean? It is way easier to actually go after goals when they're set this way, rather than I just want to be healthy. What are you measuring to determine if you're actually healthy? So I want you to analyze all the goals for yourself, write some new goals, make adjustments, and really make them super specific. That is how discipline thrives, is with this next step. Number 2, creating a routine, but not only just creating a routine that really supports your goals that you have. In case you didn't know, discipline honestly really does thrive off of routine. It's something that you do every single day, or little habits that you do every single day. So going back to the other example of being healthier and you want to work out more, so think of habits like using that, just that's only one goal, right? You're gonna have many goals that you have for yourself. So taking each goal, you're gonna analyze that and figure out what small little habits can you do every day to help you make progress with that goal. So if your goal is to work out, maybe a small habit that you can implement into your daily routine, again for that consistency, is going to be taking your gym clothes out the night before, packing your bag, saving workout videos, or booking a class with a friend. Things that you can set into your schedule on a day-to-day basis, or again however many times a week you're going to go work out, right? You would do that for that, and then do that for each one of your goals. If your goal is to read every single night before bed, maybe a small habit that you can do in a small routine that you can have for yourself is like combining it with something else that you do, or just simply taking out your book, leaving it on your nightstand next to like your alarm clock, putting it somewhere where you're going to see it every day, and it makes it easier to add into your routine. If your goal is to drink more water in the morning, maybe even writing it or putting some like a little magnet on the fridge to remind you of drink some more water, or putting an alarm on your phone. It's little things that you can do to help like set yourself up for success. And the same thing goes along with what I do as a content creator, right? So I want to grow my platforms, so every single day I am setting aside time. Well, I am a full-time content creator, so it's kind of what I do, but let's say you wanted to do content creation as a side hustle, or you just want to do it for fun and you want to grow and you want to, you know, see if you can do this for yourself. Like that's how I was in the beginning. Obviously I just wanted to try and see if I can do it, and here I am. And so every day I was setting aside time in my schedule during college, and during my internship to post content. So you have to integrate it into your routine and make it a daily routine for yourself, because like I said, that's how discipline thrives, is off routine. A lot of you want to see results and you want everything like this, and I'm sorry to break it to you, but it doesn't happen like that. You need to actually stay consistent if you want to see results in anything. Consistency is key, and everyone says it because it is true. Everyone who succeeds, like, they succeed because they don't give up at the end of the day. Like, if you want something bad enough, you will do it, and you will set time regardless of if you're seeing slow progress or you're not seeing progress. It is not always normal to just see results like this. It takes time. It takes, sometimes months to even years to see results. But again, if you believe in yourself and it's something that you're passionate about, you need to stay with it and actually stay consistent with it. So it's the small things you do every day that really do make the biggest difference. And I want you to remember this: what gets measured gets improved. Yep, what gets measured gets improved. So whether you use a journal, you use an app, you use a spreadsheet, you use My Creator Studio, or whatever it is, you need to start keeping track of your progress, because that is going to help you so much with improving and honestly just analyzing different things that you can do to reach your goals, especially if something that you're currently doing is clearly not working. And with those habits and things that I was just talking to you about, this helps you stay accountable, because you can see how far you've come with your goals and with your habits, and keeping track of it on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis. So it kind of is like a great motivation boost. See how far you've come. It reminds you of how great of a job you were doing, and if you are slacking, you're also able to visually see that as well, to give you a boost, like, okay, this week I slacked off, last week I did good, like, what can we do to help yourself get back on top? And for those days that, for me too, like imposter syndrome, but it's a great way to keep track, and you can visually see how well you're doing. So it's kind of a reminder to yourself, even if you feel like maybe you're not making progress, it's right there in front of you. It's something that you were able to track if you're making progress or not. So it's a great way to visually see that, because sometimes we can get in our own head and overthink things. And I just love being able to track goals in a way where you can see your progress, especially for things with like the numbers and my growth follower count. Specifically for my social media, I'm able to track everything, see if I'm hitting my goals. Again, what can I do to improve based on my strategy? That's why I love the creator studio that I have. So honestly, keeping track of that progress is going to be so important for you, and it'll help you with your discipline, because motivation will not always be there. Which gets me into the next one, which is prioritizing discipline over motivation. I need you to really get this into your head. A lot of people say, like, what even is discipline? So let's just talk about that for a second. Discipline is all about doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. And I always relate this back to the gym, right? You want to work out, you want to go to the gym, but like, how do you get yourself there? A lot of people always ask, like, how are you so motivated to go to the gym? Motivation comes and goes. It truly does. There might be times where you see your progress and you're like, oh, I'm so motivated to go to the gym and all this stuff, but there's going to be days where you're not feeling that great about it, and you're like, the last thing I would want to do is get up to go to the gym. Days like that happen all the time. You cannot tell me otherwise. It's gonna happen at some point or another. Discipline is when you say, okay, I may not feel like going, but I know that the feeling after is so worth it, and you just do it anyways. Like, you literally just force yourself to get out of bed and just go. You're gonna really have to rely on the habits and the routines that you built to like keep yourself moving forward, and you have to just keep that going. And that's what sets the successful people apart, is because they have the discipline to keep being consistent, like I said before, and not giving up. Because as I mentioned, since motivation leaves, a lot of the time people take that and they let it get to them so much that they end up in slumps and they end up slacking off on their goals. But if you are somebody who is driven and you have great discipline, then that is going to take you places, because success is a result of things that you do consistently. And so having that discipline to keep doing it no matter the circumstances, that is how you're going to achieve all of your goals. Next, let's talk about how distractions are the enemy of consistency, and that is why time management is crucial with anything, because if you're not managing your time, chances are like you are just so distracted, you are so caught up, you don't have good systems in place for you to actually get your tasks done during the day in the timely manner that it should honestly take. When you actually time yourself, it doesn't actually take that long, and it shouldn't even take you that long. Honestly, you're just setting yourself back, and you're just setting yourself up for failure each time that you don't really manage your time well. I personally love to do the time blocking method and also the Pomodoro method, timing myself, kind of structuring my day like that, because when I time myself for certain things, it really limits me from going on my phone, picking up my phone, because I know that there's a timer staring at me, quite literally staring at me, telling me, like ticking down, like, okay, you can get this done in 30 minutes. Let's see if you can actually get it done in 30 minutes. You know, it's kind of like a little bit of a race. As we mentioned before, when you're setting the actionable goals for yourself, let's say you want to dedicate time to practicing something for a new side hustle or researching and learning, you're setting time in your day, time blocking, okay, for an hour between 4 and 5, I'm doing this. If you want to start posting content from 2 to 4, I'm filming 10 videos. That is called using your time wisely, not just going with the flow with everything, because like I said, sometimes, you know, if you're on social media, especially you're on your phone texting, you're on FaceTime, and next thing you know, 3 hours pass by and you're like, what did I do today? What did I get done? The answer is probably going to be nothing, and then you're going to be upset at yourself, like, why didn't I get this done? So time management is going to be super helpful with staying on task and actually getting things done. And when you break up your day like this and you take breaks in between, like once your timer's done, this is going to help you with also just being more productive without being overwhelmed, because breaks are needed. Nobody's saying to go and do a million things in a span of 4 hours back to back without any breaks or anything like that. So take the breaks, you know, it's definitely important also for your mental health, and so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel burnt out. Having a good scheduled and like time blocking in a way that works best for you, like only you can tell yourself what works best for you and your schedule, but just do so in a way that you know will not lead to burnout and will allow you to be more productive, so you can get more done and feel like you got, you know, you're good ahead. You feel like you're on top of the world. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's nice to look back and see everything that you got done. And the last step is make sure you are celebrating your small wins. I think celebrating your small wins is amazing for building that momentum, and it's something that I'm also constantly working on, because I think we can sometimes be so caught up in that big end goal, but that's why I say breaking them down into smaller ones is even better, because every time you reach a new milestone, I think it's so important to celebrate that, because you are like one step closer to that. You know, you're one step closer to that big end result, and that goal itself is probably something that you even dreamed of achieving beforehand. I know for me, a lot of the things that I have achieved and I'm continuing to achieve on a day-to-day basis is something that I wished for before, and I keep on reminding myself of that, even on those hard days where I feel like, you know, maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe I'm not reaching my goals fast enough. I am definitely reaching new milestones quickly, and I'm growing every day. I'm learning every day. I'm getting better. I'm just grateful for where I'm at, and I know that it is so important to celebrate every small win, every small milestone, anything, because it's part of the journey. It's part of, you know, the bigger picture of the goal that you have. And it doesn't even have to be for big things, like the small things every single day. Like, I'm first of all grateful to be here. You went to your first workout of the week. Yes, celebrate that. Like, celebrate every week you got all your workouts done. Like, celebrate and be happy about all the things that you are doing, because all these little habits like that is showing that you are staying consistent to your goals and that you are showing up for yourself. And as we said, progress is progress every single day. Even if you're not seeing huge things, like every single day, every action step that you take, one step forward at a time. And it also helps with staying motivated and disciplined, because they can still both, you know, happen together. It's just discipline takes over when the motivation is not there. So always remember, you can be both disciplined, motivated, all of the above. So you have to also continue believing in yourself. Part of also discipline, like I said before, is when you're doing something that just needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Believing in yourself is having that blind faith that everything, like, you are going to reach those goals. Like, you already know, like, it's already yours in your head. You just have to keep on believing in yourself, keep on working and striving for those goals. You just have to use these steps that I mentioned in this video to help you get there. Comment this emoji if you stayed to the end of the video. You're a real one. Also, make sure you guys subscribe. Comment down below one of the goals that you know that you are going to achieve, so we can all root for each other in the comments. And I'll see you guys all next week.